Hello friends, I Pankaj Tunka welcomes you all to this discussion on fluid mechanics. Today, I will be telling you about the mass conservation. In the last lecture, I have explained you that what is a system, how many types of systems are there. One thing which was missed there is that there is one more sub-classification of or subset of, you can say, closed system, which is called as isolated system. So isolated system is that particular system or that particular closed system which doesn't interact with its surrounding in terms of energy as well. So let us come to mass conservation. So when we talk of mass conservation, let us say I am talking of control mass system. That means the system where the identity of mass is not changing. So for a control mass system, as the identity is not changing, that means the mass whatsoever is there within the system will remain there. So if at time t I am looking, let us say mass is m, and at some other time t, let us say t plus delta t, the mass will be the same. Therefore, for control mass system, the mass conservation equation will simply be dm by dt is equal to 0, or as the material particle or the system is moving, so it is dm by dt, that is substantive derivative becomes 0. So both are the same. So that means for control mass system, the mass is inherently conserved. So we needn't have to go into much further details. Okay, but this thing doesn't happen for a CVS, that is control volume system or open system. So whenever you have an open system, then the mass conservation has to be satisfied first, and then you should move to other conservation, that is momentum conservation or energy conservation. And if in priori the mass conservation fails there, that simply means the flow doesn't exist, and there is no point in talking of momentum or energy conservation. So in terms of control volume system, when you apply your when you apply your mass conservation, then you will be getting a relationship between density and velocity field. Okay, and that particular relation is what we call as continuity equation. So before moving to the continuity equation, let me explain to you that how to intuitively write the mass conservation for a control volume. So let us say this is my control volume. Some mass is moving in. This is the rate at which mass is entering the control volume, and some mass is moving out. So this is the rate at which mass is exiting the control volume. So what will happen if the rate at which mass is not entering the control volume, let us say this is the opening and this is the exit, there can be n number of entry and exit, but just for the sake of simplicity, we are saying that mass is entering from here and mass is leaving from here. So the rate at which mass is entering and the rate at which mass is leaving, if they differ, then what will happen? The mass will start accumulating within the control volume. So mass accumulation will happen within the control volume. So this is the boundary of the control volume, let us say. Okay, now listen very carefully how to write it. So what I'll be doing is I will be writing mass entering the control volume. Okay, that will be equal to the mass which has exited the control volume plus the rate of accumulation of mass. So this is rate of accumulation of mass. So once again I am repeating, for control volume system you have to think this, that the rate at which mass is entering should be equal to the rate at which it is leaving, okay, plus the rate at which mass is being accumulated within the control volume. So if you write this equation, that rate at which mass rate of accumulation of mass within the control volume, then you can write this thing as mass exit, rate at which mass is exiting, minus rate at which mass is entering. And this is what we call as net efflux, that is net outflow of the mass from the control volume. So therefore, for any control volume or open system, this becomes the definition of mass conservation. That is the rate of accumulation of mass within the control volume, okay, plus the net rate of mass efflux. This is nothing but the net rate of mass efflux from the control volume, from the control surface of the control volume. Okay, now Now it is the correct time to define continuity equation. So, what is continuity equation? Basically, continuity equation is the statement of, this is the statement of mass conservation when applied to a control volume or open system, whatever you say, which with the help of which with the help of which you develop or derive, okay, with the help of which mm, the relation between density and velocity fields can be developed. So what is continuity equation? Continuity equation is basically the statement of conservation of mass, okay, which is applied to open system or control volume, whichever is appropriate, both are same law, which is utilized to derive an equation which is relating the density and velocity field in a flow. Okay, so this is what continuity equation is. And you can also say that continuity equation is that particular equation which is developed by using the mass conservation with respect to a control volume. So this is something important. Now, there are two ways in which you can derive this continuity equation. So if I say CE is the continuity equation, there are two ways. The first one is differential approach and second one is integral approach. In differential approach, what we do, we consider a infinitely small element and we try to apply this concept there. So the equation which is relating the density and velocity field there will come out as in the form of a differential equation. Whereas if you consider a finite control volume, okay, so this element means a control volume. So if you consider a finite control volume and then apply this definition, that is rate of accumulation of mass within the control volume plus net efflux of mass from the control volume, that will be zero. So if you apply this, then you will be getting equation in integral form. Both will be the same, but the difference is one is in differential form, which is derived from infinitely small element, and other one is in integral form. So let us start with this definition, that is in differential form. So in this lecture, what I'll be doing is I will be developing the continuity equation in differential form. Okay, so let us consider that you have an infinitesimal control volume. So this is an infinitesimal control volume. Okay. Let us say that this control volume is such that this is my x-axis. Let us say this is my x-axis. I'm deriving this in rectangular Cartesian coordinates. Okay, so this is y-axis and this axis is z-axis. Okay, now this element is having length dx in the x direction, dy, sorry, let us say this is y. I'm sorry, really very sorry. So proper sense of rotation should be there. This is z. Okay, so this is dz in z direction and dy in y direction. This is dy. So the volume of this infinitesimal fluid element will be dx, dy, and dz. So let us define a velocity field in which this infinitesimal fluid element is there, ui vj plus wk. So this is the velocity field. Okay. Now u is the x direction velocity, y direction, and this w is the z direction velocity. Okay. So now what has to be done? We have to find out the mass influx first. Let us say we are talking of the x phase. What is the x phase? X phase is the phase which is normal to x-axis. So let us say this is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if you say the inlet x phase will be A, F, G, and E, F, G, H, let us say. So A, F, G, H is the inlet X phase. So the mass which is entering here is, let us say, m dot in the x direction, and the mass which is leaving the x phase after a distance dx will be given by Taylor series expansion. So let us say it is m dot x plus dx. Okay. Now, what is m dot x? M dot x will be the density of fluid there times the area, normal area through which that is crossing, which is dz into dy. So dy dz times the velocity. So in the x direction you have only u velocity. So this is the mass inflow to the control volume. So what is the mass outflow? That is x plus dx. That will be m dot x plus del by del x m dot x dx, and remaining Taylor series term can be neglected considering this dx to be very small. So net mass efflux from the control volume in x direction, this will be what? In x direction this will be this m dot x plus dx minus m dot x. So that will simply come out as del by del x m dot x dx. Okay, so which when expanded, that is, we replace the value of m dot x, it is rho u dy dz into dx. But this is partial derivative with respect to what? With respect to x. So these will not going to change, they will come outside, and this becomes del by del x rho u dx dy dz. And what is dx dy dz? Dx dy dz is the volume of this infinitesimal fluid element, so we can write this as dv. Okay, so this is the net mass influx from the control volume in the x direction. So if you go for y direction, so let us say this is the mass inflow into the control volume in the y direction. So that is, let us say this is m dot y. And what is the mass outflow? That will be m dot y plus dy. Okay, so what is m dot y? This m dot y is going to be density times the area normal to the y direction, that is dx dz. So it is dx dz and the velocity in this direction, which is v. So what is m dot y plus dy after a distance of dy? That is this. So if this is m dot y, then in this direction this will be m dot y plus dy. Okay, so what will be this? This will be m dot y plus del m dot y by del y dy. So what will be the net mass efflux? So net mass efflux from the control volume in the y direction. So what will be this? This will be this minus this, that is m dot y plus dy minus m dot y, which will boil down to m dot y dy, and when you expand, that is when you replace the value of m dot y, this becomes rho dx dz v then dy. But you can see that this is dx dz and this is partial with respect to y. Therefore, these can be taken outside considering as constant for this partial derivative. So it is rho v and dx dy dz. This is dx dy dz will be what? dv. Similarly, you can also go for z direction. That is, if this is m dot z and this is m dot z after a distance dz. So this is what? So you can simply write, now I'm writing it directly, you please solve this. So net mass efflux from the control volume in the z direction, this will be what? This will be m dot z plus dz minus m dot z, which can be written as m dot z plus del m dot z by del z dz minus m dot z. So this will simply be del by del z. Now what is the mass flow from the in the z direction? So this will be density times area. Area will be normal to z axis, z plane area. So that is what? That is dx dy. Okay. So you simply replace dx dy and velocity in that direction is w, and then you have this dz. So this is partial with respect to z, but this is, oh, that's my mistake. It is rho dx dy. Okay, so this dx dy can be taken outside, and when multiplied by dz becomes volume. So this is del by del z rho w dv. Therefore, what you can say is net mass efflux from the control volume, from the entire control volume. What will be this? This is mass efflux in x direction plus mass efflux in y direction plus mass efflux in z direction. That is del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del z rho w, and this dv will come out as common. Okay, now this is the net mass efflux from the control volume. Now what is the rate of accumulation of mass within the control volume? Now the rate of, or abbreviation I will be using so that it can be continuous. So rate of accumulation of mass within the control volume will be what? This will be partial with respect to time for the mass within the control volume. Now you must be wondering why I have used partial with respect to t. Remember, the control volume which we have assumed, first thing first is this is a stationary control volume, remember. Okay, I have assumed that this control volume is not moving at all. So I'm talking of the time-wise variation of within this particular control volume. So I'm not saying that this, I'm moving here and there and there. So as I'm not moving, so XYZ will be, XYZ will be kept as a constant, and only time will be varying. So therefore, this partial is coming. So what is the mass? Let us say density here at any time is rho and volume is dV. So this becomes rho dV. Now, volume is related to spatial coordinate dx, dy, dz, which are not changing with respect to mass or time, sorry, because we have assumed it to be constant. Therefore, this can simply be written as del rho by del t dv. And when we club these two together, that is the rate of accumulation of mass within the control volume, that is del rho by del t, plus the net mass efflux from the control volume, which is del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del z rho w dv. This becomes a statement of continuity equation. Now we have to refine it this further. So I can write this thing as del rho by del t plus del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del z rho w, and this dv is equal to 0. Now, whatsoever the volume may be, it cannot be 0. Okay, the moment it becomes 0, there is no point in talking of mass conservation. So, the volume is very small. This is arbitrary volume basically. So, this can never be 0. So, the thing which is making this product 0 is this one. Therefore, we can write del rho by del t plus del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del z rho w. This will be 0, and this is the equation of continuity or mass conservation for what? For uh, for general fluid flow, or this is the generalized statement of continuity equation. Whether the flow is steady or unsteady, we will be taking care in the later part, but it is for general case. It is valid for compressible flow, it is valid for incompressible flow, it is valid for steady flow, it is valid for unsteady flow. So this is the general statement of continuity, and this is called as continuity equation. So this equation is called as the continuity equation. Okay, now few more points on this particular continuity equation. Now this continuity equation, what is this telling us, this equation is telling us that mass is conserved for a control volume. If if it so happens, if the flow field does not satisfies the continuity equation, then the flow field does not exist. So if a flow field has to exist, then it should satisfy the continuity equation. And if the flow field is not satisfying the continuity equation, that simply means that type of flow field is an erroneous, not feasible flow field. Okay, now let me tell you something very specific thing about this continuity equation. If you say, if the flow is incompressible, let us say. So if the flow is incompressible, then what does this mean? This means that density is not going to change. That is, the Mach number is much less than 0.3. Okay. So if the mass number is less than Mach number is less than 0.3, then that type of flow is called as what? Then that type of flow is called as incompressible fluid flow. Okay. So for that case, density is not going to change, or the relative change in density is less than 5%. Therefore, density behaves as a constant. And if for this type of flow, as density is constant, so density will not changing with respect to time as well as space. Therefore, this equation simply get reduced to del u by del x, del v by del y, plus del w by del z. So here what I have said, here I have said that the flow field is such that the density is not changing. So this is an incompressible flow field, and for incompressible flow field, the continuity equation is del u by del x plus del v by del y plus del w by del z is equal to 0 in Cartesian, rectangular Cartesian coordinate. But let me show you something very interesting. If you say, if the flow field is steady, let us say steady. Steady means time-wise variation of properties will ceases to exist. That means density will not going to change with respect to time. So the continuity equation becomes del by del x rho u plus del by del y rho v plus del by del z rho w, and this becomes 0. Okay. Now you say that flow field is also incompressible. That is, density is behaving as a constant. So this equation simply, density will come out and it can't be 0. So the rest has to be 0. So it becomes del u by del x plus del v by del y plus del w by del z, which is the same equation which you have got for incompressible fluid flow. But now we have also incorporated a term that the flow field is steady. So by just looking at this particular equation, you cannot say that the flow field is steady or unsteady. Got the point? Okay, because in the continuity equation, the temporal or the time-wise derivative of density is there, but the time-wise derivative of velocity is not there. Therefore, just by looking at the continuity equation, or sometimes continuity equation can be very deceptive. So just by looking at that particular equation, you cannot say, you cannot explicitly say that this is a for a steady flow or unsteady flow. Okay, okay. So that is a very difficult thing to judge from the continuity equation of an incompressible flow. So just by looking this, you cannot say. So that's why we have to look for other ways whether it is steady or unsteady. Okay, then so in this lecture till this point only. So in this lecture I have uh, defined the continuity equation. That is, it is the relation between density and velocity field when we apply mass conservation onto a control volume. And then what we have done is we have developed the expression of continuity equation, okay, in rectangular Cartesian coordinate, and considered some of the cases where it has been concluded that just by looking at this incompressible flow equation, we cannot say that it is a steady flow field or unsteady flow field. So in this lecture till this point only, if you liked it, then please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Take care.